Well, the erratic weather patterns are putting more pressure on farmers in the Free State. Many have declared that their yield will amount to nothing this year. And they say they've lost almost all their investments due to the excessive heat as well as lack of rain. Frustrated farmers say that the recent rainfalls are also good and bad for them. Let's now welcome Kgomotso Ranchu, who is the Free State farmer and agricultural consultant. Kgomotso, thank you so much for joining us. Welcome to SA Today. Look, talk to us about the impact that this erratic weather patterns is currently having on your yield as farmers, as well as the impact on the overall country's food security.
Okay, thank you so much. My name is Kgomotso Ranchu, a Free State farmer. Currently, what's happening, it's quite stressful as grain farmers. Because we didn't expect, but it was anticipated that we might get low rains and heat stress. So currently what's happening is most of the farmers around, especially the planted maize and got affected, the heat stress. Most of their plants did germinate when they reach V5, V6. Then that's where the heat really came about, and it's really quite stressful. Most of the insurances around do not cover for any heat or heat losses. So currently, a lot of people are going to be losing this year regarding their crops and what's happening on the farms. So what we're currently doing is we need to mitigate and try by all means to come up with solutions that these unforeseen circumstances are affecting our crops. So one of it is diversifying, that you know that if you are not quite doing well with your crops or find that there's possibilities that there might be drought, we know that we have other enterprises that can cover with that type of loss so that you cannot start from zero again. It's quite a huge challenge, and I think we can do better. We can do better if you do diversify. Don't just focus on crops, but diversify to other ventures in the agricultural space. Thank you.
I mean, let's expand on that, Kgomotso. I mean, what means maybe technologically or otherwise, we live in a world where technology is fast growing, and as you speak about those solutions, can actually be explored, particularly as collaborative efforts between yourselves, farmers, as well as government, to ensure that you have a sustainable water source to mitigate for drought seasons as well.
Yes, I think it's possible if most of the farmers around do get to be sponsored or maybe helped with correct water catchments as reserves. Let's say if maybe there's a farm that has potential to irrigate a certain amount of hectares, we know that there's water reserves done or through the water catchments that the government or other stakeholders can help a lot of farmers. And also what we can do is we have to try by all means to not plant at the time that you think is the right time, but sometimes delay also can help other farmers, where sometimes you find that you plant on time, which you've done that almost during the years. But some of the farmers that did plant a bit late are quite benefiting because during their germination, that's when they received a bit of rain. So if also including the technologies, it's quite tough to say using precision farming also can help that, because drought is unpredictable, you know. And on my side, I wouldn't justify and say that there's types of technologies that we can use just to cover or to maybe go through drought. It's a bit tough, but when we receive good rains, let's save water, because it's unpredictable when we're going to face challenges in South Africa or the whole world. So also another thing is to save or store our grains for future purposes. Like now, we find that food prices are going to spike, and it's going to be a challenge. So I think we should see ways on how to mitigate this. Thank you.
Absolutely. And I mean, Kgomotso, what is the direct impact then of this food shortage or food security? Are we then likely to see food prices, which are already staggering, rising as a result of this erratic weather?
Yes, we might find that prices are going to go up. Not only prices, but for food, but also for feed. Remember, our livestock also benefit from the maize or the grains that we do plant for animal feed. So also the meat industry is getting a bit affected. Feedlots, we can name them. So prices of animal feed are going to spike up. Mostly the people that are going to be affected are going back. It's the poultry side, where we saw that it was tough to meet the margins before because the prices of animal feed for broilers or layers was a bit up. So it was a challenge that we had to face avian flu, which currently is affecting us. So weather as a whole, we need to have technologies that can be integrated with the weather forecast department that can for sure say and prepare farmers maybe to try with researchers that this year it's going to be a tough year. What methods can you use just to reduce losses on the farms, or maybe plant an alternative crop that we might export, and then get the ones that we can import, which are going to be a bit cheaper.
And very quickly, Kgomotso, I mean, there's been calls for government to decide on or declare the current drought as a disaster. Do you support this call?
I do support it. You find that first entry loan users that did get production loans, it's quite a challenge to them that it's a new planting season for them. They're going to be affected. Insurances are not going to help them regarding the premiums, because some of the insurances do not cover drought or heavy rainfalls like floods. So it's quite challenging, and we need new types of insurances that can help us with these unforeseen circumstances, if viably it could work. So I think, yes, the government must help or should help our farmers through these tough times.